Welcome to the AI podcast. Where we talk with leaders who are creating real impact in healthcare through innovation, leadership, driving work. Today, I'm joined by Jeffrey, the co-founder of PureWay Compliance Inc. Jeffrey, can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jeffrey McGuicko. I'm the CEO for PureWay Compliance. Just a background on who PureWay is. PureWay is a healthcare company. We manufacture these devices that help collect safely needles and syringes at home and at healthcare facilities. And I invented this process where you can ship them back for compliance reasons, for safety reasons, and to just properly dispose of is considered hazardous waste, which is the needles and injections. So that's who I am. That's a little bit of PureWay.
What led you into healthcare waste management and compliance?
Sure, it was a complete fluke. I actually had no idea the company that I was recruited for many years ago was a healthcare company. It was called Sharps was the name of the company. I thought it was actually related to TVs, kind of funny story. But I kind of fell into healthcare. I had been in sales for a while. And very unique industry. Never even knew that the waste industry was so big and that there were so many issues or challenges that were there. So I got involved and started a direct sales division of a small publicly traded company. Did that for several years, and then I met my partners, who a gentleman out of California who had another business already, and they loved this waste business. Long story short, about 13 years ago, almost to this day, 12 years right now, we started PureWay out of the garage, basically. We created some products, got them FDA approved. That was fun. And then went and built this great company. We touch a little over, 300,000 locations a year right now. And we ship over 1 million containers a year of these Sharps containers. We ship over 1 million systems a year to enterprise and to patients at home. The GLP-1 stuff has definitely helped as well. There have been a lot of people starting new injections. It's a big topic, lots of questions about it. So yeah, there you go.
That's very powerful. Healthcare waste is something many people don't really think about, but played such a critical role in patient safety and environmental protection. So from your experience, why is compliance and healthcare waste management so important, and what risks do organizations face when it's not handled properly?
Okay, well, there's two sides. You got organizations and then patients at home, but organizations, they're regulated. OSHA, EPA, DEA, there's different types of waste that you can't put in the garbage for many reasons, because if you do, it hurts the environment, it hurts people, and certain waste streams are not set up correctly to handle certain types of waste. So it's regulated, falls into regulated category. And based on the type of waste determines how you manage that waste, either through, sometimes you need a big truck to come and pick up if it's real hazardous items. If it's really high volume, you need a truck. If it's small volume, you can use, systems like ours. Healthcare facilities don't have a choice. They have to use some type of disposal option that shows they're getting rid of this waste the right way, right? Can't throw it in garbage. Needle syringes, especially, we can understand why there. But once the waste is collected, they're supposed to have a little document that says that they properly disposed of their items. It's a manifest document that shows where the waste is going, that it's going to a permitted or authorized place, the weight amount, and who the generator is, all these things, all for legal reasons. But those are for businesses and what they have to do. Patients at home is very different. So patients can get injections from pharmacies, such as the GLP-1 items that comes out. There's diabetic patients that have insulin. There's some people that may have been in a hospital and through continuing care have healthcare providers come out to their house through home healthcare. There's many ways that waste ends up at home. But if waste is being self-administered by a patient, then it really falls outside of the regulated realm, so to speak. So that's where the big issues come in. This is where people do throw needles and syringes in the garbage. Or worse, let's say they're traveling, they're in an airport, they're at a concert, a big conference center, maybe a convention center, train center, bus center, you name it. somebody does an injection, maybe for diabetes or something that they're required to do. Well, a lot of these injections are winding up in the regular garbage, the trash, and even down the toilet. They're flushing them. Believe it or not, a lot of the issues that are coming are from trash workers that get the trash. They're getting stuck and they're having to go through very difficult testing for HIV, Hep C, and so forth because they're stuck with a needle. They have to assume that there's issues there and they have to get tested and treated for it. And then also plumbers, believe it or not. Clogged pipes, they go take it out and all of a sudden they open the pipe and here comes some syringes and now they get stuck and syringes are clogged. Just things that people don't think about. So I think healthcare technology continues to grow. And to be fair, injection is a great practice. It's by far better than a pill because it gets injected directly into the body. So it has, in some cases, better outcomes, right? Again, I'm no doctor. It's just kind of basics and, we understand there. So more people will be doing injections, which is great, but the technology needs to, the innovation needs to not just be the medication, also needs to be how we take care of this waste stream because, some of us have pets, right? And we care about our little animals as well. A lot of pets are getting into containers with syringes, and veterinarians now are seeing an increase, pulling syringes out of gums and things like that because they go and chew into a injectable device, not knowing what it is, and then now they've got a needle in their gum. A lot of things that we just don't think about till it happens. So we're a company that has identified a lot of those challenges. We've put together some easy options for it that are convenient. It's shipped right to the house. It's our PureWay mailback systems. You can go pureway.com. They got, you can see what's there. And through that, it's a safe way to get rid of the waste and a convenient way to get rid of it. And, we have some recycling aspects as well, where we can recycle some of the waste. So we're just a option, right? There's many options out there you can look at. There's some free options through some regulatory groups. Some of the pharmaceutical manufacturers themselves actually provide these to their patients at no cost. You just have to ask. So I'd say if anyone's doing an injectable out there, go to the person that's making your medication first and just ask them, do you have a way for me to safely get rid of my meds? They might send you one of our containers. We work with many of them. They may refer you to like a state pickup program or a state take back program. There's many in California to where, there's just options. All we're trying to do, and the reason we're kind of talking today, a real important message that we want to get out is we want people to be aware. Just don't throw these items in the garbage. Don't flush them down the toilet. And, look for options. And one way is a PureWay mailback system, right? There's many options. That is one.
Wow, you're doing an amazing work. Thank you so much for sharing. So
Sure.
I know compliance isn't just about rules, it's about safety, trust, and protecting everyone involved, from patient to staff to the community. So you have led large-scale business transformation over the year. What does strong leadership look like with guiding teams through charge and high regulated industries?
Great question. So leadership is extremely important. I'd say from the ownership standpoint, the best thing you can do is get out of your team's way. And that is after you have kind of shown what the way needs to be, hired the right people. There's different phases of business. Obviously, when we first got started, we were doing the majority of everything. I remember packing and shipping boxes, doing all the sales calls, doing a lot of the triage with USPS when there were issues and problems, and you do all of it. As you grow, you have to be effective and you have to hire good people. And part of leadership is showing people how to lead and to grow themselves. And at some point in time, you work yourself out of a job. You have enough people that can do the work, hopefully people that can do it better than you. And, I spend the majority of my time now working with my leadership team, helping them grow, helping them make decisions faster. Most of the time they know what decision to make. It's a matter of timing. So that's where I come in and help our team to make sure that, our strategic direction is not just the right one, but it moves in a timely fashion. Yeah, that's it.
I love that. Those qualities are so important when building teams. So how do you think innovation and technology play a role in improving healthcare waste management and compliance today, like AI and any kind of new tech?
Sure. Yeah. AI is extremely important. So how we leverage AI right now is, there's a lot of concern about how places a lot of people and activities. We don't necessarily look at it that way. We look at how we can use AI to upscale our team and to increase their capacity to minimize the time from onboarding to being effective, leveraging AI to get users answers faster, better quality answers, and I would just say access to more information. So we use AI in many different ways. So like online, you go to our chat, we have a knowledge-based system that's pre-built that has every question you could think of that users have asked. It's built into our chat. So when somebody asks a question, we don't send them to a big knowledge base where they have to search around and find this. It grabs the answer and provides it back to them, and then asks if they need anything else. And that's where I think AI helps really improve the experience, shortens the amount of time it takes from question to answer. That's a big one. We have a lot of really, really good people on staff, but they don't need to spend their time answering a very, very simple question. They need to spend their time answering the more difficult questions. So as we have grown, I haven't gotten rid of more people. I've kept the same people. I just give them tools that allow them to do more, to do it better, and to focus on the things where they actually add value, right? So that's where AI, I think, really, really helps. AI can also help you from a leadership standpoint, identify issues you may not know you have and do it in a faster way. It can also suggest improvements. I don't think it's there yet, but give you an example. We have a system that can monitor all of our email communication, absolutely everything. And at the end, it can give us feedback on who answers and responds quickly, who does a really good job, who is not following, maybe the training that they've given, and what are the main issues that people are reaching out about. And based on that, suggest some improvements, right? Now, I can hire 5 managers that can do this, and maybe one of them would get it right, and all of them would hate doing it because it's just not a fun thing, right? But this software can go, or this, AI can go and look at all this and provide that information back to that manager. And then they can make a decision based off of, okay, I see here what the issue is. I can now create a fix to it, and I can implement and roll that out. That's the fun part of the job, right? The monitoring is, no one likes doing that. So this is where AI can really help and improve things. And this is just on the customer experience side. There's more related to design, to sales, to operational quality control. You can use AI in a lot of areas, but I just caution anybody that you can go too far down the rabbit hole. You need to have a personal connection. People are not ready to just deal with robots all day, every day. In some cases, when they need speed, they'll take it. But in most cases, they want to know that there is a human that has contributed to that answer at some point in time. We just want the integrity of a breathing person on the other end of the phone, maybe, or on the other end of the text, versus this robot is just not getting it. I got to ask it a different way. Right? I think we've all been there.
That's impressive. You're already implementing AI in your business. That's very good. So right now, what are some challenges or trends you are seeing in your business?
Oh, it's a broad question. I would say, so our world is heavily focused on the pharmaceutical world and the changes that happen there, the technology changes, the new drugs and medications that come out. Our goal is to help these manufacturers address this growing issue and demand of, what do they do with this waste at home? Most manufacturers are very aware of how big of an issue this is. Their patients are reaching out to them saying, how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of that? It's a very big issue. All the big manufacturers have already jumped on board with this. So it's kind of the middle area manufacturers that are either entering the United States or have been here for a while and are just starting to get to the injectable side of things. It's a big challenge getting in front of them and making sure that they're aware of this big issue, because it's a growing problem driven by the patient. And, we're trying to help everybody acclimate to that. The government, through take-back programs, through product stewardship programs, through manufacturers that want to do it through their patient support programs. We're trying to help them deal with this big issue because it's just getting bigger. If you think about in the last 5 years, the new GLP-1 movement has doubled the amount of injectors in the United States almost. It's a massive number. You've got over 100 million people doing injections in the United States. There's more needles being generated outside of the hospital than there is in the hospital now. It's wild. And, waste streams are not catching up. The municipal trash guys that pick up the waste, they're not there to deal with needles and syringes, right? Even a lot of the big carriers like UPS, FedEx, they don't deal with that stuff either. They don't want to deal with that stuff. Thank goodness USPS has a great program for it. And, it's going to be a growing issue. So we're happy to be a part of it. But that is the biggest struggle, is getting the word out to as many people as possible that, yes, it's an issue. No, don't throw it in the garbage. Do not flush it. And, here are your options. Even like, what do you put it in at home, right? Some people might put it in, a plastic bottle like this or a glass jar and throw it in the garbage. Like, well, you appreciate the effort. But the first thing that happens when that garbage is picked up is it goes into a truck. The truck has a compactor and it bursts that container, and there goes all the needles. That's why you might find a needle or syringe on the side of the road, probably hopped out of the back of a truck. People just don't think about it. It's not an issue till it's an issue, and we're trying to help address that need as best we can.
Thanks for sharing. How do you think you can put your message out there so people understand the work you're doing and more people can join? Do you have a system in place for that?
Yeah, we're doing our best in a lot of different ways. I'll say how me personally is. I have a great marketing team, and they are getting the word out there many different ways. But, as a founder and such, I like an approach that's an unbiased approach, right? Almost an unbranded approach that says, look, here's the issue. We're a company that's a part of the solution, but the issue is the issue. Here's what it is. There's many options. Yeah, we're one of them, but acknowledgement of the issue, awareness of the problem, and awareness that throwing it in the garbage and flushing it is bad, and that there's options is the big goal, right? If we do that, yes, okay, business for us will go up. That's great. But as a whole, the big problem will start to be managed by the manufacturers, by, the government, maybe with other take back programs, maybe the trash companies will have an extra, who knows, right? The whole point is that it is an issue. It needs to be addressed. And one of the ways to do it is a PureWay mail-back system. That's it. There's many, but that's one of them.
Sounds good. Thanks for sharing. As we wrap up, what's one message you like healthcare leaders and organizations to take away when it's come to compliance, leadership, and impact?
Yeah, I just say innovation is great, but you got to think of the full life cycle of the product, right? Phenomenal drugs, great, life-changing things are coming out. That's great. That's wonderful. Need to include a process to take care of that after the injection has been done. With pills, it's different. You put it in, there's nothing left over. There's a little plastic bottle. It's no big deal. Now you've got injectables. And yeah, there's some with caps on them. There's some that retract back in. It's still going to go in a compactor. It's still going to be broken, and there'll be needles and stuff out. It's still going to go to a landfill, right? Have a plan to, remove it the right way, contain it the right way at someone's home. That improves the experience. Hey, people stay on therapy longer when they do that, right? If it's a good experience, no problem. But also there are ways to recycle this waste, and there's a pure way of doing it, as we like to coin. And, look into it. There's more options. That's it.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time today, Jeffrey. Thank you for sharing your experience and leadership today. I have one more question. Would you like us to stay in touch and we can reconnect and see how we can help each other in the future?
Please, yeah, do it in the new year. I've got a team that handles this for us, and I'm sure they'd love to collaborate with you. We have a social media manager. Her name is Cheyenne Parrish.
Nice.
And she has set up right now over 300 social media influencers that just we send them some free product. Some of them are paid, some are unpaid. Most of them are unpaid. They just take it and they want to give an unbiased, here's what it is. Here's PureWay. Here's what we like. Here's what we don't like. But for any of those that are doing injections, yeah, this is a way of doing it. And here's their website. Things like that. We give them little codes, and if people go online and order, they get paid for it. There's a lot of different ways that you can leverage your followership and we'd love to work with you. So you got 24,000 followers. That's great. It's a huge accomplishment. Congrats to you.
Thank you so much.
And tell us how you did it so we can do it. We love the same thing.
So, do you know a time you will be your team will be available, or should I get in touch with your team as well?
After this, I'll have Mary from my team reach out to you, give the contact information from my marketing team. Just coordinate with them. If you can share them also, the podcast when it's available, we'll share it on ours as well, just so it's out there and people can we'll help on both sides.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Take care. Thank you so much for your time today.
Take care. Bye bye.